Guess what? Here's another fence update. And what we're doing, we got that roll, like I put in a previous video. We got the roll up here. We got the thing unrolled along this temporary fence line, which right now we just have the electric fence run here to keep the sheep from getting out the other way. But now what we're going to do is we have permanent fence ran over this way, going back through the woods all the way up, and it goes way back over to the corner, way back to those trees, way back over there. It comes all the way down this tree line which is the west side, and which we just got finished too. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide the pasture, about 20 acres I guess of our pasture, into smaller paddocks, and each one is somewhere around 5 or so acres. And this is going to be a divide here that's actually going to run up along these dogwoods I planted. And we planted years ago a few hundred native dogwoods, and it's a row of them there. It's going to go up to the end of that row, and that's where it's going to shoot across. And then down there is going to be another section of fencing going across. In this section here, it's going to be one of the paddocks, one down there and a couple up there. One of the reasons why we're dividing this off too, it's kind of important, is because we hope to, as we have been doing, to rotationally graze the flock of sheep we have. So we want these smaller paddocks to give us time to let each section grow. And what we've also been able to do is, before we rotate them all the way through, we've been able to get a cutting or two of hay off of here, so that we can get them through the winter if we need to, for a rough winter. So that's all kind of important with where these divides are and why we're putting them in there. It's a work in progress. Farming is always a work in progress. Now that's blue. I tell you, there's something about my workplace that I really enjoy. I think it's the colors. How many places you work? There's these colors. An amazing blue sky. So now what we're doing today, we're just about to remove this temporary electric fencing. And this horse fencing that we're putting up is actually temporary also, because back a couple hundred feet through those woods, another section of permanent fence is going up, and then we'll be able to take this down without having to worry about the sheep getting out in the farm through the back there. But for now, there's a lot of trees got to be cut back there. So this was the path of least resistance. We may not get back to cutting those trees out till next year, so we want to get this, pretty much done this year, so we don't have to worry about the deer breaking this electric fence all the time and always having to worry about how the sheep are doing. So here we go, back to work on the fence, and I'll give you an update as we go. Oh my gosh, he's making some wires for first attaching the fence. We got a supervisor on the job. Buddy, what are you doing here? This is our new breeding ram. He's just a yearling now. Eventually he'll grow up and be a bigger pain. He was bottle fed, so he's way too friendly. And he came from one of the first flocks that were imported from South Africa. So his ancestry is pretty impressive to me anyway. So hopefully he helps along the flock as he breeds with the girls. Big job ahead of you, buddy. Alright. Meanwhile, Dee's over there trying to clear a little bit of fencing, so we're about to lift this up. We got the electric fence out of the way. So, and the sheep, of course, they see us, so they come down to see what's going on. Right, buddy? And he's shedding his wool. Be nice if we got it all shed there, buddy. Alright, section 1's done. Well, sort of. From one post to the other post, we got that up. We have to run down and get another post because this one's too far of a span. We could run electric fence, but I don't think we could temporarily run this horse fence without one more post. So we're going to go down and get a couple posts and go down and hopefully get this up in a little bit. So here we go. One fence post at a time. Well, Dee's putting the last wire holding up the temporary fence. All the way up. That's where you start seeing those dogwoods there. And then of course there's permanent fence going back there. So this is all tied in. We won't have to worry about the deer busting the electric fence anymore like they wind up doing a dozen times during the course of a year and another dozen times during deer season. And this is temporary till we get back about 200 feet and cut out those trees that run all the way up to there. And this woods will look a lot different in a year or so when it's all cleared and groomed a little bit. So we'll see. There's actually a picnic table on a real big rock back there. That would be nice to see again. We used to spend a lot of time sitting there in the summer. I'm punching out. I'm done working for today. Dee sounds like she's down there looking for lower limbs. I better go down there and tell her I'm quitting. Well, I haven't been able to talk Dee into quitting yet. But she's trying to clear out an ailanthus we cut down yesterday. And here's where the corner turns. This is going to be permanent fencing here. This is one of the lines that's going to divide off the larger pasture into smaller paddocks. If you see, it comes down here and it's going to run across the field that way. And eventually when this is a little bit more open here, there'll be a larger gate across here so we can get up equipment, tractors and balers and hay wagons down through here. So this will be all changed around, but we got to make a straight line, which is kind of crooked. We were just using the opportunity to run emergency electric fence when we did this originally, like a couple years ago. So now we're trying to do it more permanently. This will be the next phase, getting over to the permanent fence, which again, I think we measured, it's a little bit over 200 feet that way. That the fence runs up, again, like I mentioned, all the way up that other end. Today, if I can talk Dee into quitting, so far it's not worked. You know how these supervisors are, they like to manage by example. Anyway, we'll go from here. Later. Amazing looking blue sky.